look at the time. It's time for another video. Good day to you, my fellow adventurers, throughout time and space. It is I, the Cowardly Time Lord, welcoming you back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 3. Today's episode, we shall be heading through Maria Station's garden and dealing with what is perhaps the most startling revelation this story has to offer. Really depends on the way you view it. But the garden area gets really sad. But there is quite a bit of stuff to do around the garden area, as it holds two of the best helmets in the game. And I mean that no, they are the best helmets. There's a lot of treasure chests in here, as you can plainly see. Let's see what we encounter here. Yeah, just more Plant 42s. Yeah. This area has some interesting stuff happen. Really, I want to run into Wraiths, and, what else? Wraiths, and another type of enemy that I really need to run into in here. Also, yes, even the bushes in this weird artificial garden have money in them. For some reason. There's still two types of enemies in the garden in this garden area that we haven't encountered yet. I don't know what else to call this area. It's a garden, especially considering with where this path leads to. It's very much implied that this is part of the garden. Here's a wraith. Now I forget if it's a steal or a drop from these guys that we need. Now the wraiths are interesting in the fact that they resist magic in a very specific way. Okay, so it's a drop that we're after. See, they resist physical. I don't know what the brass claws do, but I do know this should work. See, the lightning barrier is destroyed, and then, yeah, the royal sword finishes off. That's the best way to deal with the wraiths. just plain and simple best way to deal with the wraiths. But they have a chance of dropping the Divine Helm. So, yeah, you need to fight a bunch of wraiths. And they've actually got a pretty good chance of dropping the Divine Helm compared to other rare drops in this area. I think it's like a 1 in 40 drop chance, so 1 in 45 maybe? And the only one that's about the same is the drop chance of the, come on, the Mist Armor, that's it. That's the only one where it's like equivalent drop chance from enemies in this final dungeon area. Not this area of the final dungeon, but and the silver tiara right there is both Nina and Momo's best helmet. Problem is, there's only one of them in the whole game. Except for the fact that there is the copy shop in the fairy village. So we're taking the silver tiara to the copy shop eventually. Don't know if it will be in this episode or not, but it's possible. And here we find the dragon spear, which I'll show briefly. Because the dragon spear is interesting for the fact of it's a dragon slayer. It deals extra damage to dragon enemies. So Gar will equip that for a certain boss fight, let's say, before the end of this game. I've been feeling so drained of energy recently. Doesn't help that I'm upset because stuff that I've ordered online hasn't arrived, and so I ordered something else, and I haven't even gotten any confirmation that the person who I ordered from has seen that I ordered. Oh. Well, I have to go back to Deus as soon as I can. Then, don't I? Yes. Yes, I do. But I'd rather wait until after... Now, we could have run into the Goo King on our way here. The Goo King being one of the most difficult enemies in the game, but now we are on the pathway. And this pathway is actually a really good place if you're looking for wraiths. But yeah, the Divine Helm, the best way to go about it with this is, of course, to, The best way to go about it is to get one from a Wraith and then, you know, take it to the Fairy Village to get copied. That's the best way to deal with getting the two Divine Helms, because it's Ray and Gar's ultimate headgear. Eden. We're headed to the garden. See why I called the whole area the garden? Yeah. Here we are. It looks like we're outside. But it's just another room. Yeah. There's a couple treasures to find around here. We can also run into Goo Titans, which I hope doesn't happen, because of the fact that now we are so high leveled that Goo Titans no longer will just physically attack and cast the occasional burn spell. The Goo Titans oddly get stronger as you level up. Once you reach a certain point, they'll start casting abilities like Sucreo. Hello. Hello, all of you. Don't run away, Goo King. Please don't run away. I at least want to show what the Goo King can do. There's a high chance the Goo King will kill us. Or run away. That's equally a possibility. Am I not at the level where the Goo Titans will act differently? Or did I just get extremely lucky? Anyways, I'm gonna try and steal from the Goo Titan. Because if you forget, the Goo Titan you can steal life shards from the Goo Titan. Really, it's not a good idea to anger the Goo King when he's got all of his subjects with him. But if you manage to fight a Goo King on his own, well, it's one of the most deadly enemies in the game. I'm never gonna downplay that. But at least it's an interesting fight. Because as you saw, the Goo King ran away. There's a way to prevent the Goo King from running away. You have to use... Ooh. Well, here's the time where I'll show that. Let's put on... Pilfer. Now, there is a reason why I'm going with the clothes. Ooh. It uses a lot of abilities to kill you near instantly. Luckily I don't have to worry, so War Shout. Yeah, we stole the green apple, and Goo King wants the item back. It's a 1-to-1 steal rate, so you'll always get the green apple. Well, they're just used its one ability that won't kill you. This is gonna be risky. Guess double blow. I don't know what else to do. I'm going with the kite. I wanted to go with the Kaiser, but then I realized I don't have Aura yet. So I guess the best would be Force, Defender, Gross. So I don't know if it actually equals anything good. I just use it quite a bit. That's all I know. You're just gonna keep using Tornado. Okay, that's fine. He can use Sucreo, another ability where, you know, he summons meteors. Basically, I'm just saying he summons meteors. It's not, I forget what the name of the ability, Ragnarok, that's what it is. Anyways, we just killed a Goo King. 5,000 experience, 1,000 Zenny, and 1 in 255 chance of dropping the Goo King sword. But the funny thing, that's why of course I use Charm, because Charm increases the chance of the Goo King dropping the sword. So yes, it is pretty much required that you use that. Anyways, now we go across this bridge to start up the next segment of the story. Which, it's a good thing that Ryu basically has all but his best equipment. I'd rather him having an ivory charm and, well, the Goo King sword. But that is near impossible, so... Anyways, we're going to step forward and witness the scene play out. We started a little party. Now, it is notable that there was that locked door that we had to go through, and of course we couldn't unlock without Ray. Also, I always found that animation of the bird falling looked a little funny. Anyways, because Ray is very important for this. They can't tell that they're inside a room. And when they try to fly, they only end hurting themselves. Do you understand, Ryu? I suppose I should have known you'd come here eventually. You are Brood, after all. Who? Teepo? Is it really you, Teepo? It's me, Ray. Teepo, you're alive! I thought... Be silent. I must talk with Ryu. Welcome, Ryu. Unfortunately, your journey ends here. I can answer all of your questions and explain why our race had to be destroyed. See how far gone Teepo was? I mean, he used to be a criminal, but now he's this. Soon after we were separated so many years ago, I learned that I too was of the Brood. Ray? Ryu? Why did they do this to us? Ray? Ryu? I forgot the voice I did for Teepo. It was something unique, I remember that, but whatever. He's dragon now, it doesn't have to... Huh? What's happened to me? My body! I'm no different from you, Ryu. Not since then. Yeah, our morality's always been different. Much blood has been shed to reach this point. The blood of strangers. Your own blood. Sorry, I have to pause real quick. Sorry. My cat was doing something and I was trying to figure out. No, my cat's still playing with something, but I can't tell what. Anyways, your own blood. Blood of both the good and the bad and the ugly. Nothing but hardship awaits us wherever we go. Violence, pain, blood. That is the Brood. That is what we are. The Brood pose too great a danger to the world. Our power, our very existence threatens it. We cause war and chaos wherever we go. So, Mr. Tipo, the goddess put it into your head to wait here? Wait here to kill Ryue? No! She would never harm anyone, nor allow anyone to be harmed. This entire game would suggest otherwise. But isn't it funny that the future Tipo that we've seen throughout our dreams, throughout the game, was the good guy? This Tipo that is talking peace is the villain. That is like such a major twist looking back at the game, which means that Angel that we kept seeing in our dreams has been the villain all along. You don't... Like, looking back on the entire game with this new mindset is mind-blowing to me. The reason why Breath of Fire 3 is one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Like, I have a huge affinity for JRPGs. I love them. Some have amazing twists and all this. Some have great gameplay mechanics. This one is special. She simply fears. Fears for the world should the power of the Brood be left uncontrolled. Yeah, except in ancient times she's the one who started the wars with... started the Brood Wars. Sorry, my cat was trying to eat something. She was trying to play with something that she wasn't supposed to. Ryu, we're different from them. We can't be with them. The previous games would highly disagree with you, Tipo. And that's the big problem with Breath of Fire 4 is it basically tries to replay some of the same hits as Breath of Fire 3, except without the world-building lore of the previous 3 games. I'm not saying Breath of Fire 4 is bad and has actually one of my favorite characters that I know of in the Breath of Fire series, but Breath of Fire 3 was a perfect end to the trilogy, and then they made the 4th one, and they were just like, let's tell a whole new story with with the established species and everything. Which isn't a bad idea, but when you throw characters with the same names into a whole new story and then play the same hits of, oh, good brood, bad brood, kind of thing. The way they play it with Tipo and Ryu is so much better than in Breath of Fire 4 with Faolu and Ryu. 2 sides of the same coin. That's why you need to stay here with me. With me and the goddess Miria. And actually, you do get that option. Well, not to stay with Tipo here. But before you fight the final boss will actually ask you if you want to replace Tipo as her little pet to keep in this garden. Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I'll show that or not. I might, with a save state kind of thing. You still don't understand, do you? That's alright. Take your time. Look deep within yourself. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Welcome to the Mindscape. What do you think, Ryu? This is your mind, your heart given shape. Those are contradictory statements, but okay. Mind and heart are 2 very separate things, Tipo. Here you can enter not only your own heart, but those of your so-called friends as well. And then you'll learn that Holy Miria is right. Go now, Ryu. Whenever I decided to do something, my mother would always ask me, is that what the Princess of Windia should do? I would always answer yes. When I left the castle, with Ryu and my other friends, for the first time, I wasn't my mother's daughter, or the Princess of Windia. I was able to just be Nina. You're just being selfish, you know. Different sides to the personality. I thought it was very important that we learn about Ryu and the Brood. I don't know anymore. Maybe I left the castle just because I was tired of being controlled by my mother. It's a classic thing with a princess character in a JRPG. You must go back. There's nothing for you here. Yes, there are random battles, but this area is mostly about the puzzles. The Vileweed. The Vileweed has no AP, but tries to cast very high AP spells that will kill you. So, unless you're also with an enemy that has transfer, the Vileweed is basically no problem. There are a total of 3 different types of enemies in Ryu's Mindscape, I think. The power of the Brood. Look at me. I have a power I was so frightened of, I swore never to use it. But compared to the power of the Brood, my power is insignificant. Insignificant. I know the word, I lost the pronunciation for a second. Anyways, my power is insignificant. I can't say it with an accent, sorry. Doesn't that just beat all? How can anyone handle that kind of power? If it were me, I know what I would do with it. No, I know better. I wouldn't be able to handle that kind of power responsibly. I'm just no good. Ray, you think too lowly of yourself. You feel unbridled strength coming from deep within you. Do you want to save? If you couldn't tell, that was a heal, and yes, I think this does look like a good place to end off for today's episode. So this is the Cowardly Time Lord signing off and saying, have a good day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Next episode, we shall continue through the Mindscape. Bye-bye now.